Today we're going to be talking about a concept we've developed here at Lane Tech called snapshot shooting. Some time ago, we started understanding that for us to be competitive in our league and with the teams we're playing, we want to shoot and make more three-point shots than the teams we're competing against. But what we started finding as we introduced that philosophy was we were taking a lot of threes and we're very perimeter oriented, but we weren't putting a lot of pressure on the rim. So we started developing some drills where we were getting shots out of our system. Instead of just shots in the corner and getting reps, we wanted to get game shots, game spots, game speed through the things that we were doing conceptually. But at the same time, like I said, we weren't getting enough pressure on the rim. So teams are running us off the line, teams are actively switching, and we weren't getting the shots that we were trying to get. So through the drills that we've developed with snapshot shooting, what we've been able to do is put a lot of pressure on the rim through understanding that every screen is a play in itself. And that every time there is a screen, obviously the person coming off the screen is the threat, but the screener is also a very important threat. Over the years that we've developed this concept, what we've been able to do is not only get the action we want, the shooter coming off the action, but we're also hitting the shape up very regularly, which is consistently putting pressure on the rim, and it keeps defenses honest. Some of the benefits we've seen at Lane Tech over the years since we've introduced snapshot shooting is, again, we're getting more points in the paint than we had before we switched to this three-point philosophy, which is kind of ironic, right? We consistently now are getting pressure on the rim through shape-ups. Everyone understands it. So yes, we're shooting and making more threes, and that's our philosophy, but we're also getting more consistent paint touches because our screener is always active, headhunting, and getting a piece of the paint off the shape-up. Another big benefit, as mentioned, is we're seeing our production from the free throw line go up because, again, we run the snapshot shooting. Maybe we don't have the action, so we're forcing long closeouts, we're getting to the rim, and also hitting the shape-up at the rim, getting off 2 feet, and finishing through contact. So we call it our swing action, which is really just stagger screens, getting a guy off a double screen for a shot, and we'll show different wrinkles out of that. The big key with our swing action, and as we've talked about with snapshot shooting, is we always want to put pressure on the rim. The defense knows the action we're running if they scout us. They know that the primary look is for the person using the screen, but by us putting pressure on the rim with the screener, we're consistently getting the defense on edge. We're getting paint touches, we're getting paint scores, we're getting free throw line opportunities, and we're also at times, through miscommunication, getting the shot we've designed, a three or a curl off of a stagger screen. So here's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna get lines. Let's get someone in that corner that's gonna use the swing action, okay? Let's get our first screener, let's get our second screener, and let's get 2 passers right in here with 2 basketballs. Yeah, so actually we'll need 3 people. So let's get 1, 2. Ethan, come here. Start a ball with Keith, 2. Okay, and the line will just be this way. And we're just gonna rotate this way. When we get into half-court offenses, the rotations are usually a little bit simpler because the lines just flow. In this sequence, we'll have the passers bumping over, right? Screener, screener, shooter, and we'll just follow along this way in a clockwise motion. Now, what's gonna end up happening here, and you'll see this in a second, is the swing action is a reversal out of 5 out that we get into stagger screening. So the ball starts almost as if this was swung from our point guard to our big to our 4, okay? Then what we have is Jimmy's setting up like he's using the screen, Eric's coming in setting the first, Keith is setting the second pretty much at the elbow here. The first action, great job. And again, teaching points, shoulder to hip using the screens, right? Let's come back and do that again, Jimmy. So Jimmy comes in here. We don't want to go before the screen happens. He's setting his man up, getting the level of the screen. Shoulder to hip, he's using the first screen. He's using the second screen. So the first shot is a pass to Jimmy for a top of the key 3. We always talk about anytime we set a stagger, we have a guy top, wing, and rim. Every time. There's going to be many different ways we do it, but those 3 spots will always be filled. In this sequence, because we got the primary look with the shooter coming off a double, the first screener shapes up to the rim, the second screener shapes up to the wing. So now, instead of shooting for doubles, we're going to be shooting for triples. We're looking to get all 3 makes, and that counts as 1. Again, as you evolve, this is the way to keep it more competitive and get stuff tailored to your offense. But a modification, let's say you want to teach youth level, grassroots level, middle school players how to use a stagger screen. You don't have to shoot for triples. You can still just shoot for doubles and pick out the 2 shots that you want. You can just shoot for 1. You can have the guy coming off the screen. Or you can say, hey, today, all of our shots are for the screener shaping up to the rim, right? So it's a way to practice the action, get reps in the action, and then tailor the shots that you want and to the skill level and to the development of the players you're working with. Everyone got what we're doing? Here we go. We're going to go swing action. We understand the rotations. All right, here we go. Shooting for triples. Boom. Here it comes. Timing. Accept, shape up, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see if we can get 1 triple. We got pressure on the rim, we got pressure on the release, and think about the beauty of running this action. Keep going, guys. Your defense has to make decisions. How are they guarding the shape ups? How are they guarding the shooter? If they're locking and trailing, we'll curl that. If they're trying to cheat, we'll flare that. If they're getting screened, someone will be open. If they're switching, the shape up from the big will be open. We have had a lot of success running this action, and it's not just because of the action, it's because of the reps and the IQ our players are building doing this consistently in practice. Let's get 1 triple. Here we go. Swing, swing, boom, boom. Nice job. Okay, so the first drills we're going to see today is snapshot shooting built out of transition offense. We talk about transition being primary break opportunities. We're looking to advance the ball at all times, and in this segment you'll see 3 variations of what we like to do with snapshot shooting for transition. The first variation, we're going to work on what we call a pitch ahead, trying to get a baseline drive and drift, and then we get that drift to a 1 more, right? So we're getting a clean reversal from one side of the floor to the other, and we hit the 1 more pass for the trailing shot. Our goal right now is to shoot for doubles, which means we're getting 2 shots made in every sequence. When we typically do transition stuff, we would probably start these guys a little further back, more 3/4 court, just so they get ahead of steam as they're sprinting for the transition component of it. But with today's spacing and filming, we're just kind of getting them started at half court. So guard, give the wing a little bit of time to sprint up the floor before you make that advance pass, okay? So we'll demo it 1 time and then we'll get into it live. So let's kind of go half speed. Jimmy's sprinting out to the wing, we hit him, advance pass, right? You're sprinting over here, Michael. We get the drift, Sean's relocating, hit the drift, we get the 1 more, and then you're hitting Sean. So we're getting a drift and we're getting a 1 more. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's gonna be the action we're running right now in transition. We're shooting for doubles. We're looking to get the 1 more and the drift shot. Here we go. Let's get it. Advance, advance, advance. Drift, drift, drift. 1 more. Let's hit the 1 more. Boom, boom. There it is. Rotations, rotations, rotations. Let's go. Jump to your next spots. Let's get our lines going. Ball down there. Excellent communication. Push, advance. Drift, drift, drift. Sprint to the 1 more. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Excellent. The first action we're going to see is a drag ball screen with a hard roll and with a strong side lift. So let's get that action going, okay? So we need a point guard line in our point guard lane. We have a strong side wing, and we have the big, but we're going to put the big in the 4 slot. We're going to simulate this out of 4 out, 1 in spacing. And again, tailor it to the way you're going to play secondary. Are you a 5 out secondary team? Are you a 4 around 1? It should dictate what you guys do in the flow of your game. That's the beauty of snapshot shooting. We've shown some stuff out of 5 out. Right now, we're going to show it as if we were playing 4 out, 1 in with the big. And in this case, if you're using your imagination, what would that mean? The big is rim run and is now in the weak side dunker spot. And the opposite wing is in that corner. So we're taking 3 players in a 4 out, 1 in drag opportunity in secondary. So let's walk through it here a little bit. The strong side corner sprinting. We're flowing. We get a drag. Keith's rim running. Boom, we hit that. And then we would have a second passer here that's hitting the lift. Okay, so this is where the passer line is going to be. So let's get off the baseline now. Let's get to this line here as the passers. Okay. Passers will be right behind the 4 line, and that's where we're hitting the lift, okay? We got a second ball? Okay, perfect. Let's hit it. Drag, roll, lift. Beautiful, beautiful, okay? So now obviously what we're seeing there, let's hold up for 1 second. As the point guard's coming off, can I see the ball? Keith actually said it for me real quick. As I'm coming off this drag, right? What are we looking at? What is the point guard looking at, right? The guy guarding Keith will probably either give me a hard show, maybe it was a switch, maybe it was a hedge or a blitz, whatever it might be. I'm dragging out Keith's man to guard me, so he's rolling. So Keith should be open. The reason Keith would not be open is if Sean's man tags Keith on the roll. So if Sean's man tags Keith on the roll, I wouldn't have had the roll, I would have this hook pass to my lift. So that's what we're simulating right now. We're getting, if Keith's man is open because the Sean's man didn't tag, I'm hitting the roll, but the second passer here is hitting that lift pass that the point guard would be making. All right, here we go. Let's shoot for some doubles, boys. Let's get it. Keep going. No, 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 come back, we're good, we're good. And see, that's again, that's showing the beauty of this. This is not a point guard. He's a guy that would be a screen setter or a wing for us. But we're putting him in a point guard situation right now and having him see the floor as a point guard would have to see it. That helps all of our players understand conceptually what we're doing in our system. Let's see it now. We're waiting for the drag, Keith. We're flowing. Boom. Roll. Lift. There it is. We're shooting for doubles. Shooting for doubles. Let's go. We're good. We're good. One of the things at Lane Tech that we love about snapshot shooting is there's never a wrong time to implement it. I think the great thing as we're gearing up here for our summer contact period and the off-season training, we're just conceptually throwing in, hey, let's put in side pick and roll snapshot shooting. Let's put in wide pin down snapshot shooting. Let's put in slot drag pick and roll snapshot shooting. Let's put in post entry split snapshot shooting. And really, we're getting our incoming freshmen, our rising sophomores, our rising juniors, and our rising seniors all in the gym together, running through these actions and feeling these concepts out. And as the summer progresses, we're getting a ton of shots, we're getting a ton of reps, we're getting timing, pacing, cadence of screens. We're learning the importance of the shape up. We're getting role reversal in, so guys are seeing different things. But then the beauty of it is once we get out of summer ball, we get back into season mode. We're taking those at the start of the year, the things they're already familiar with, the things they've already done, but now we can evolve it as we start to introduce what our primary break's gonna look like, what our secondary stuff's gonna look like, what our half-court sets are gonna look like. Now we just take those snapshots, say, hey, we've done this before, but now we're actually doing this. This is what we're literally gonna have in our system, and we're just moving the screen here. We're changing the angle here, right? But it's something they're familiar with. It's something that they're accustomed to, and now we're not throwing something new at them in November. We're giving them something they're familiar with, but we're evolving it, and we're constantly getting them to understand the nuances of our system, and they might not even realize that they're doing it. And as they evolve, whether you have a feeder system, you can add layers to it. Whether it's your travel team coach or an AAU team coach, again, you can add layers to it as the season progresses. And again, as a high school coach, something that I use consistently, we probably use this drill, if not every day, every other day to get reps in our stuff. And again, it evolves over time. I just finished up a workshop about 2 weeks ago where I had ages 8 through 14, and we did snapshot shooting with each of those age groups. And there weren't too many differences. Obviously, we were a little bit more detail oriented with the 14-year-olds than we were with the 8-year-olds, but the 8-year-olds had a ton of fun, got a lot of reps. And again, the beauty of this, what are we missing in grassroots basketball, right? They're playing a lot of games, they're not getting enough practice. You're drilling this, they're getting reps, understanding not just screening and using screens, but spacing. High-level floor spacing and offensive IQ, even at 8 and 9 years old. So I think as a coach, you have to understand what your goal is with your off-season training. For us in our program, as we've said, we've defined us being a high-level three-point shooting team and constantly trying to put pressure on the rim as two of our primary goals. With whatever offense we're gonna run, those are two of our primary goals. So we use snapshot shooting every day during our summer contact period in the off season. And the beautiful thing that we found is our players, if they get together and work out on their own, and they get 2 or 3 guys together, they can just take this and they use this in their own training, even when they're not with us. But how much time do you want to spend on it? It's really up to the coach. We use it every day. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be 20 minutes of your practice. You can get snapshot shooting done in 4 minutes if you'd like, and just lower the target score, right? But again, you have a time on it, so it keeps it competitive. Maybe the target score is 5 makes in 4 minutes. But the other thing is, the makes can evolve and the makes can be modified. You can shoot for singles, which is just the jump shooter making a shot, the screener making a shot. You can shoot for doubles, which would be the shooter and the screener both scoring, and that counts as 1 double. You can shoot for triples. Maybe you have a stagger action. You've got the first screener, the second screener, and the person using the screen. So at the end of the day, we use it all the time. We use it every day in off-season practice. We use it, if not every day, every other day during the season. And again, we don't have to use it for 20-minute segments. We can snap it into our practice. Snapshot shooting 4 minutes today, snapshot shooting 8 minutes today, depending on our goals and our target score.
We hope you enjoyed this snapshot team shooting drills video. If you want instant access to 5 team shooting drills that get your team game shots from game spots at game speed, make sure to click the link in the description so you can gain access to a free PDF featuring diagrams, descriptions, and bonus tips. Again, if you incorporate these drills into your basketball practices, you will see your team make more shots come game time. Make sure to click and subscribe and then click the bell button so you're the first to know when we release more new videos. Thanks for watching.